Okay. Grade 7. This is lesson 1 of chapter 6. Solve one-step addition and subtraction equations. Now, like any other lesson, for you to be successful in this lesson or in this chapter, you have to remember things we learned in term 1, and you have to remember things we learned in chapter 5. You also have to know how to read and understand what the question wants. So those are very important things you need to know. Vocabulary, properties of operations, things that we have learned before, you need them for you to be able to solve any question in this chapter. Okay? Now, this is the vocabulary you know, and it has been written for you over here. Highlighted. These things that are highlighted, I need you to write them in your book also. An equation is a sentence stating that two quantities are equal. So if you see this is an equation. This is a quantity and this is a quantity. And we are saying the left side of the equal sign is equal to the right side of the equal sign. Now, your quantities can be algebraic or can be numeric. Remember when we learned over there in chapter 5. Okay, so, and then once you solve the equation, this is the answer. This is the solution. Another word for solution is answer. So you should know the solution is the answer you get after solving an equation. Okay? All right, equivalent equations. So both of them have to be equation. This is an equation because there's an equal sign. This is an equation because there's an equal sign. So this equation right here is equal to this equation. How do I know? Because it was solved. It said x plus 2 equals to 6 is the same as x equals to 4. That is what it's saying. So we come in here. We have subtraction property of equality. How will I know I have subtraction property of equality? When I subtract the same quantity from both sides. I cannot subtract C and then subtract D and call it subtraction property of equality. Equality means same. So if I subtract C, I have to subtract C. If I subtract 2, I have to subtract 2. If I subtract half, I have to subtract half. Okay? The same thing with addition. If it says that I have to add the same thing on both sides of the equation. I am adding C on the left, I should add C on the right. You will see this as we are solving. So I want you to listen. I will be explaining where the subtraction property of equality and the addition property of equality is coming in. So we will do first subtraction property of equality. So this video, I think I will divide it into 2 parts. Subtraction property of equality. Okay? Maybe I do 3 examples here. All right. So we have example A. X plus 5 equals to 12. In this lesson, I want you to have 2 pens, 2 different, your pencil and another colored pencil. Okay? Now, when solving an equation, you start with the side with the letter. So the side with the letter is x plus 5, which is on the left side, okay? So how do I know I'm subtracting? Because I have to do the opposite of this. Now that reminds me. So you have an operation and the opposite. You should know this because we learned it in term 1. The opposite of plus is minus. The opposite of minus is plus. Here we are adding. So to solve this, we need to do the opposite. which is subtract. You subtract the number that is being added. And you subtract on both sides. And you make sure you put your bridge. This bridge reminds you that there is an equal sign over here. So your next step is you write your bridge and you put your horizontal base. Then you box the like terms. Okay? This goes away and becomes 0 because this is additive inverse. I am crossing this because this is 0. Positive 5 minus 5 is 0. Then what is remaining? X is remaining. Then I do 12 minus 5, which is 7. Okay, so this is my solution. This here is my equation. And this part is what I am calling subtraction property of equality. Okay? All right, we do another one. Now we have to check. After you find your solution, you have to check if it is correct. So you will do x plus 5 equals to 12. X is 7. 7 plus 5 equals to 12. 12 equals to 12. And this is correct. So after you do this, that's how you know this is your answer. Okay? Now let's do example B. Negative 9 plus negative 9 equals to C minus 8. Let's do that. Okay. Sorry, this is plus. It has to be plus because we are doing subtraction. So I said you go to the side with the letter. So this is the side with the letter. Since it's plus here, I will minus. So this is the subtraction property of equality. And then I box my like terms. This goes away because it's additive inverse, so it is 0. My bridge, I write C. Negative 9 minus 8, that will be negative 17. I've already taught you how to do this. I'm not going to do it for you. You need to draw your negatives. Okay? So you got to do check to confirm if your answer is correct. Negative 9 equals to C plus 8. Negative 9 equals to C is negative 17 plus 8. Negative 9 equals to negative 9. Solve this. This is negative 17. Solve it correctly. So this is correct because the left is equal to the right, therefore making my answer correct. So that is how you do subtraction property of equality. Okay? So I've done 2 examples.